That's all we
You
do.
didn't tell me.
Okay, that's fine. I'd like to call to order our council meeting, May 23rd, 2019 at 6 p.m. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Coles, absent. Councilman Fian.
Here.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Here.
Councilwoman Thomas. Here. Mayor Sherrod, absent.
Pledge allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 25th, 2019 council meeting and May 9th, 2019 work session.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
Okay, we'll now take public comment on agenda items only. Okay. Treasurer's report. Jerry is unfortunately not here tonight, so we will move on. I have the police report for the month of April 2019, if anybody would like to see it. I don't think there's anything there. Receipts totally collected for April 2019 were $8,431.84. And those included parking fees, fines, permits, miscellaneous, which is some of the prisoner watch from other municipalities, and court receipts. Dave?
Yep. I'd like to make a motion to accept a grant in the amount of $296,249 provided through the Department of Community and Economic Development's 2018 Community Development Block Grant Program, and to authorize Deputy Mayor Anthony Orzechowski and City Administrator Judith Taylor to sign any and all contracts, invoices, and other documents as required for administration of the grant.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
Thank you, Councilman Fian.
You're welcome.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 12-2019, a resolution of the City of Monessen City Council approving and authorizing the designation of signing authority for invoices for the Community Development Block Grant Program.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Rosachowski, Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
We have a motion to approve payment to WC Inc. in the amount of $965 to be paid out of the CDBG funds for preparation of demolition condemnation reports. Yeah, that's right. Reports for selected parcels and project management for the fiscal year 2017 CDBG demolition project phase 2.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
I have a motion to grant tax forgiveness and exonerate all taxes against city-owned properties purchased from the Westmoreland County Tax Repository List, and to notify Westmoreland County Tax Assessment Office and Westmoreland County Commissioners of the action as required.
Second.
For a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
A motion to approve payment, partial payment to Stash Trucking for invoice final payment in the amount of $33,003.80 for the 279 Schoonamaker Avenue demolition and site clearance project, withholding certain amounts pending resolution of outstanding issues, according to the recommendation of WC Inc., to be paid out of the Economic and Community Development Incentives Grant Funds.
Second.
Second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
I have a motion to approve payment to Stash Trucking for invoice final payment in the amount of $17,585.50 to be held until receipt of the insurance check from Attain Insurance Company for the damage of the traffic signal at 3rd Street and Schoonamaker Avenue that occurred during the 279 Schoonamaker Avenue demolition and site clearance project. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Fian.
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes.
I have a motion to approve payment to Morgan Excavating LP for invoice number 11793 in the amount of $411.20 for the cleanup of a sidewalk at 580 McMahon Avenue to be paid out of the Economic and the Community Development Initiatives grant funds and subtracted from Stash Trucking contract payment.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
I have a motion to accept the resignation of April Kadish from the Monessen Planning Commission effective May 22nd, 2019.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
We don't have any appointments to the Monessen Planning Commission. We're going to have to advertise and ask for people that may want to be part of that. So we will be putting an advertisement in the paper.
Make a motion to authorize Judy to advertise.
I'll make a motion to authorize the advertising for the Monessen Planning Commission appointments.
Second.
Second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
Motion to approve the bid of Devon Carter in the amount of $874.58 for the purchase of a property located at 921 Grant Street, currently held in the Westmoreland County Repository.
Second.
Have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
Okay. If anybody would like to see it, we have the library board financial reports for the month of April 2019. I make a motion to approve payment to Morneck Excavating Inc. for invoice number May number 345 in the amount of $5,455 for emergency repair to a 10-inch sewer line on Aliquippa Avenue, according to the approval of WC Inc., to be paid out of the line usage funds.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
Motion to approve payment to WEC Inc. for professional services for construction management and observation for the 218 Monessen Downtown Demolition and Site Clearance Project in the amount of $1,620 to be paid out of the Capital Improvements Fund.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
Motion to approve payment to WC Inc. for professional services for project management and observation to the 279 Schoonamaker Avenue Emergency Demolition and Site Clearance Project in the amount of $13,484.20 to be paid out of the general fund.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
There is a street and a parks department report available for review for anyone who would like to see it for April 2019. We have a motion to approve the quote from New Coat Paving and Sealing Company in the amount of $10,820 as the lowest responsible quote received for paving of the section of Dell Street, damaged by mine subsidence and a broken water line, according to the recommendation of WEC Inc.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
A motion to advertise for college-age seasonal workers to cut grass and weeds on city-owned properties. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Finn,
Aye.
Councilman Rosachowski,
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas,
Yes.
Thank you, Councilman Thomas. Councilman Fian?
Hey, everybody. I have code office financials for the month of April. Code office pulled in $9,715.16. Year-to-date has been $72,930.49. I have the code office report, if you want to see it. The fire report in the month of April, the Monessen firefighters devoted a total of 307.5 man-hours towards the safety and well-being of the city and surrounding communities. As always, thank you guys very much. I have the EMS report. There were 104 total incidents in the month of April, 96 emergency calls, 7 fire standbys, and 1 public service. And I'd like to make a motion to appoint Brandy Smith to the Rec Board to fulfill the unexpired term of Cheryl Fleming to expire on 12/31/2021.
Second.
We have a second. Questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilman Fian.
You're welcome.
Solicitor?
No, I have no report tonight.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gaza?
The following is the general fund community bank ending April 30th, 2019. The balance, the last statement was $425,420.26. There were deposits totaling $1,047,983.94. Disbursements total $697,619.74 for a final amount reconciled to the balance sheet as of 4/30/19, $775,784.46.
A motion to approve payment of bills for expenditures from the General Fund, Parks Fund, Recreational Board, Line Usage Fund, pending review by Director of Accounts and Finance and City Controller. For a second.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Motion to approve financial transfers from the General Fund to the Payroll Fund for payroll for May 2019 in the amount of $108,341.73.
Second.
For a second, questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
A motion to approve electronic transfers from the general fund to the healthcare account for healthcare expenditures for the month of May 2019 in the amount of $52,350.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
A motion to approve payment of Monessen Public Library Funds contribution for April 2019 in the amount of $21,262.12.
Second.
Questions on the motion?
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Orzachowski.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you. Before we get into public comments, just a couple things. We may have mentioned just before, if anybody was interested, and it's been about a month or two, that the city of Monessen is accepting sealed bids for the sale of one used 2006 Ford police vehicle, as is, and I believe that is the old chief's police car,
This is the old DEA car.
the old DEA car. And just so you know, the transmission is gone out of that. And there is another used 2007 Chevrolet van as it is and where it is. And these vehicles can be viewed at the city garage facility located at 605 Perani Boulevard. All bids must be in a sealed envelope clearly marked, bid used 2006 police vehicle and/or bid used 2007 Chevy van, and received by 4:30 p.m. on June 5th, 2019. The city of Monessen reserves the right to reject any or all bids. If anybody's interested. We will now take public comment on the non-agenda items. If you'd like to say anything, please speak up, step up to the podium. And
Good evening, Joanne Rose, 669 McKee Avenue. First of all, I wanted to thank Council and the Code Enforcement Office for how promptly they addressed the issue of the raccoons that were overpopulating the Sixth Street part of McKee Avenue, the Sixth Street Avenue part. I haven't seen any in a couple of weeks. There's still another issue with the house next door to me, the Douglas Business School has students in. They were feeding the animals, but their garbage receptacles, they have the wooden boxes that, say you lived in a rural area and you would have to have a
The
wooden
bear
box.
boxes, yeah.
Yes, that's what they have in front. It's an eyesore, first of all, and it's just not appropriate for a residential area. And I've called and spoke to them and asked if they could please try to get regular, garbage cans like we all have with things on there to keep them out. But they've not even come down to address it. So that's just another issue. And also, 4th of July is approaching. And on the Sixth Street part of McKee Avenue, Sixth Avenue side, every year there's a block party that a family has. And from what I understand, I called the chief and he told me that they came to council and they got permission to have it. The whole street is blocked off. When I was on vacation, I got a call last year that, my sister called me, she was gonna come, but she had another engagement, but, you could not even get onto the street. And my mother's 92, a homeowner, and, the concern was that if an emergency vehicle needed to come onto the street for any one of the residents, they would not have been able to get onto the street.
I agree.
So I did talk, and the fireworks, I had to actually pay somebody, to pay your brother, to come and go up on my roof, which is very high, and clean the paper off from the fireworks. And it's a massive amount of fireworks that they set off. Those houses are so close together, that has to be a fire hazard. So that's my concern, and I also don't even think they own that home. I believe they rent. So I don't know how that was approved, that they could just have that block party there. I don't think anybody would want
Well,
that.
nothing was approved this
Right.
year, nothing was approved last year.
Okay.
This year, I know for a fact, and last year,
I mean,
we
it
couldn't
was-
approve anything because we didn't have a quorum.
Okay,
So-
yeah, it was, I can't even explain it. Lois, I know you saw it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It was loud. And it was late into the night.
it
and
was
also
late.
that
My
it
mother
was
said there were 20, she looked out the window, there were 20, 30 people on my porch. She was horrified. So I just wanted to bring that to council's attention. I hope if they come and ask for a permit to have this, that it's not approved. I don't think it's feasible. I don't know, nobody would want that in their neighborhood. We don't want it in ours.
Do you know the address of the family?
I meant to look when I came down, but my car was headed the other way and I was running late.
You got
So I
it.
didn't get to see it. 10 Harhigh's old house.
I don't know where that is.
It's on the right side between
It's
6th and 9th.
Okay.
660?
Yeah, I don't.
No, it would have to be an odd number. Because I'm 669, 661.
Thanks, Delma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Tina Odell, 1252 Ross Traver Street. The reason I'm here, I need to speak today is about, there's a sewer drain up on Ross Traver, on the corner of Ross Traver and Lee, where they meet at the end by the cemetery. And there's a big old drain or pipe that comes out down below the house that's there up on that street. And it's just a big drain. And it empties out into the grass. And it floods the cemetery, and it floods my mom's yard, and it floods the street. And I don't know, something's gotta be done because I don't know if Nikki sent pictures,
I have a video of the front steps of
but
the
I'm
house
talking
flooding.
floods.
Yeah.
And in the winter, it was ice.
It's like Ohio
Solid
Power.
sheet of ice
That-
down
No more,
the
do you know which
road,
one it is?
in her driveway.
We can require.
Eddie Wakeman's on the yard between Holiday and
Yeah.
Eddie
But they just.
Is that causing damage to the cemetery too?
They seen this water.
It's gonna damage the road down there,
Eventually.
Okay.
because what's happening in the wintertime, and that, I call it, never mind what I call it. It's a lake,
It's
the
a
lake
lake.
forms there, and it runs right across the street, right down in her mom's house, and that water's starting to get underneath the road, and it's gonna blow that up out of there.
We need to put a new inlet in completely.
Well,
There's nothing
I
there.
think we looked at it a few years ago, and it's gonna be costly, because there's nowhere to run the water to.
Yeah, but is it on that list that you guys went over?
There's no catch basin
There's no
there.
catch basin to take it,
There's
there's no catch basins to take it to.
And it's about 18 inches deep on the one side.
So we can have Tony, we'll have Tony look it up and see how much it would cost to put in the catch, is it catch
So
basin?
you need to extend the pipe probably maybe several hundred feet,
Yeah,
and then a catch basin.
yeah.
Do you mind if Tony and you link up and take a look at it? Cool. Thank you.
Because it's been going on a long time, and her yard's like going
No, it's-
away.
Yeah.
Get all their groundwater down off of the St. Niles Cemetery too.
Thanks.
Thanks.
We'll have Tony get a hold of you guys and see what we can do.
Hi, Ernie.
Sorry about your
It's all right.
situation.
I got a good replacement of it.
Too bad it wasn't Tony. But anyway,
last meeting, you said something about you ordering from Sea Viper two, hybrid cars.
They're not hybrid, they're E85.
Okay, E85. What happened there?
They're on order.
Do you have an order for them, that you filled out and signed?
It's been on order.
When did they do it?
Fall?
Fall, it takes, 5 months?
They're spec'd out from the factory. They don't have
Sitting on the
high-end
lot.
police cars sitting in the lot, man. They're built
Plus,
custom.
once C. Hartford gets them in, they have to put the light bars on, they gotta put the roll cages in, they put anything else that the chief spec'd and Dave spec'd out that they want. Yeah, we're looking at October deliveries.
Okay, so my follow-up question is, do you have the money to pay for this?
Yeah, we already have the money, it's in a separate account, so
It's in a separate account.
yes.
You're not gonna touch it like you do with the sewage line, sewage.
No, we're gonna use it strictly for those two police vehicles that we went and got the money for that specific reason. And hopefully, if we have a chance, we have a $6,000 balance that we would probably like to put towards the code officer's truck or something for the guys in the street that they could use. So yes,
Okay, so what's going on with mechanics and all that stuff with the city?
right now, currently, I believe if any work needs to be done by for the street and its equipment, it's getting sent out.
So it's getting sent out, and why can't we find a city employee to do this?
Because right now, we're trying to find somebody that can do the job that Carla is here, that Judy's doing 3 and 4 jobs at the same time. So right now, we're trying to put a priority on that.
Well, that should be number one priority, because that's costing you money when you're farming it out.
Didn't we approve the advertising? I thought we approved the one for Carlos.
Carla's is supposed to have been already
Yeah.
advertised.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be already advertised.
Okay, and, so besides the mechanic, what else is on your priority plate?
Everything that has to happen with the city. Are you looking for something specific?
Yeah, like, what's number two? If the mechanic's number one, what will be number two?
I don't have a list for you, Ernie, if that's what you're looking for. I'll be happy to address anything that you need one by one, but we don't sit here and drum up a top 10 favorite list and say this is what it is. We do things as they happen every day.
But that's what a priority list is supposed to be, you know, number one, number two.
The first priority list is to run the city and maintain services.
Okay, how you doing there, as far as generating money?
I believe most of the taxes are in by now. I don't think that, probably not till June, end of June.
We're still taking in back garbage.
Yeah.
Code's bringing in about roughly approximately
As
10
far as
grand a month.
property tax, how much you think it is, you're there 75%?
Oh, no, no. You mean the taxes?
Yeah.
No. April is the first heavy month for that, and then May is, you know, and I can't tell you what it is in May yet. Usually it's 2 months and then the end of the discount period. And then again, it'll slow down and then it'll pick up again.
Okay, so all you guys are waiting for is the taxes coming in. Is there any other avenues you're trying to generate?
I just told you, we're going after back garbage.
Yeah, but that's.
All right, Ernie, garbage, and Jerry's not here unfortunately to do the report. Garbage for the month of April was $7,240. Year-to-date, it's $285,779.75. There's a budgeted amount for 2019 of $370,000.
So we're not even halfway through the year and we're almost at what we budgeted to bring in.
All right,
So if we continue on this path, we'll be double what we budgeted for, because we're going after the delinquent garbage.
delinquent garbage for the month of April was $5,960.33. Year-to-date is $48,613.70. The estimated 2019 budget we're trying to hit is $203,000. Garbage collected for 2020, $100 already for the month of April, $280 year-to-date. Real estate taxes for April were $962,086.85. Year-to-date was $1.3 million, $1,305,527.45. out of a budget of $1,476,638. Delinquent city taxes were nothing for April. Year-to-date is $8,220.60 for prior city collection taxes. Collected by the Westmoreland Claims Bureau was $24,494.36, and the estimated budget for both of those was $1,000, and the other one was $100,000.
Okay, so when all this money comes in, how much money you gonna have above budget? How much? $500,000?
They have a
Give it
crystal ball now.
estimate.
All right, but we don't want to find that out till the end of the year.
No, I mean, that you got like a,
If another
You
sinkhole
you don't
opens
know
up,
what
or if
happens,
there's something
Ernie.
that
If
happens.
something happens, that wipes it out, so we never know.
Because I could spitball you a number now, and then something will
Major
happen, and you'll
happens.
call me a liar in public tomorrow.
I'm
So this is the thing. I know you won't call me a
I
liar.
may call somebody
I
else a liar,
can't get you to pick on me anymore.
Okay, but anyway, have you paid all of the money for these demolitions? Is that all been paid?
You missed part of the motion today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all paid now?
The 279, we paid them the final one, but we're waiting,
Holding back.
we're holding back on one of the payments until they provide a receipt for the damage that they did. Their insurance is gonna pay, you know what I mean? And then they did get docked something, I think. I can't
For the
remember.
inlet.
Yeah.
Okay, you just got a check from, the one building sewage authority, so where's that going in? Is it going into that retaining tank?
No.
Or where's it going? It's
I
supposed to go to the
think we
retaining
talked to
tank.
that before, that there's no, that we do not have to put that in when we are maintaining.
Well, that's not what I heard, and that's not what Tom Savalas told us over there in February.
I told you before, but I cannot find
Hey,
it.
if you
I'd love to have that letter.
Well, they told,
They don't have it.
We don't have the
Councilman
letter.
They don't
Thomas,
have
that
the
don't
letter.
give it to her if she calls.
They don't have it.
We don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
I can call Tom and
Yeah,
ask him for it.
and if you YouTube that February meeting, it's all spelled out there, and it's still on the YouTube.
They have a
Well, better
letter about
A
the
meeting,
retaining
meeting.
tank project. Not that this money was going into a special escrow fund.
Play that YouTube.
I
And
don't
he
care.
specifically says
Ernie.
that $5 extra that was tagged on to everybody in the
He's
city
made a
was
mistake.
supposed to go for the retaining tank. And then I questioned him, and I said, is there a key to that? He said, no, once we turn over the check, whatever Monessen does is what Monessen will do. And that's what he left us. And if you go on that YouTube, you'll see it all go down the way I'm telling.
I'm not disputing what was said at the sewage authority meeting. As Judy said, there was never any action by council requiring that money to go to a special account.
Well, he got a letter with Ron Shabani.
The letter that he's speaking of was sent last summer regarding that tank.
And he said he'll be glad to give it to Lois if she followed up on
But I
it. So
think,
I don't know
but I
what
think
it
that letter was, that they were asking for a meeting, Ernie. Really, I do. It was
If you
to
play
schedule
the
a meeting,
tape,
but.
you'll see what he
Right.
said.
But really, what happened, they scheduled a meeting, but then that's when Mr. Chevali passed. And then nothing happened after
Well,
that,
they
but
said
that
they
was the
sent it
scheduled
to him.
meeting.
He had it. That's what they said. If you play that YouTube, he clearly says that.
Did he give you a date so I can?
But the YouTube.
No, the date of the letter.
No, it was just before he passed away.
Okay, so March of 17?
Did they send it to?
Spring of 17, I'll look through the
I don't
notes and see if I can
know.
find it.
Probably the mayor's
I
mail.
don't know.
This sounds
But,
other stuff.
Spring of 17, I wasn't here then. 18 maybe, it's in 18, spring of 18.
okay, so, what I like to know is this. Would you people be willing to do something that the previous administration hasn't done? And that is, can you form a transition from this council to the new council that's gonna take place?
Do you not read the
January?
paper?
What's that?
Do you not read the paper?
No, I don't read that much.
I'm making a turnover binder for Donnie. It's the first time it's ever been done.
But you're just doing it, or is the whole council?
I'm doing one
He has all
that's,
the info.
I
Yeah,
have,
but I'm talking about the whole council should all be together to transfer the, transfer of power to the other, council.
I'm the only one leaving.
Well, it's gonna be reversed here, because once Mr. Greger comes in, everything's going, Judy may not even be here. The attorney may not even be here. There's a lot of changes coming. And all I'm saying is, so Monessen doesn't get jacked up again, like Lou did whenever he took over, there was a big divide.
Yeah, but it's
okay?
not just that, it's every council, and I'll say this for a fact. Every council since time immemorial in this town has tried to screw over the next council.
Okay, so we're gonna follow the same path?
No,
I'm just asking.
didn't I just say? Did I not just say?
But the whole
Read the
council has
orders.
to be involved, not just you, Mr. Sweeney, not just you.
Okay. I'm giving my successor a turnover binder, so he's not in the dark like I was when I got on council, and it took me 6 months to figure out what the hell we were doing.
But the whole administration of the previous was in the dark all 4 years. So I just don't know. The thing is, the city cannot afford these divides. and-
I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's, one faction fighting another faction, okay? So now on board, we got at least one good, intelligent person that joined the people, and hopefully Lois will follow through because she pulled away with all those votes. So everybody in the city's behind her. So I just hope that you guys could form a good coalition and make things happen for Monessen. That's all I'm asking.
Ernie, I don't plan on going back. I don't think anybody else does. And Donnie's coming on board, and I know we plan on working just as well as we have to keep Monessen going forward. I'm not gonna be on something that goes backwards and doesn't wanna work together. So if we don't continue working together as a whole, I'm not staying here. Because I'm only gonna be here if everybody works together for the good of Monessen. And that's where we're at, so there is no going back, okay?
Okay.
No going back.
Gotta get the other two to come.
Yeah, that's right, nothing's gonna change, Ernie, we're keep going
That's why things
forward.
are gonna change.
And,
The other two gonna come.
You don't know that.
I didn't know that. Just like I knew that one of these.
We don't know what's what.
But to let you know, I'm not gonna set him up for failure.
Oh, no, and if he needs to ask anything from us, when we're discussing something, if Donnie needs to know, we're gonna bring him up to speed.
Don knows my cell phone number, he knows where I live.
Definitely, no hiding nothing.
But I got
Somewhere
to
in
Yeah, we're not trying to go back, Ernie, we've come too far to go back now, believe me.
It's just that there's other forces at work.
Well, you know what?
I'm talking about.
We've come this far with the other forces, so we're gonna continue to go forward, so we can't look at the other forces, it's us four, us whoever's here.
Don, you ready for this, buddy?
Yeah, he's ready. Yeah, so we plan on going forward.
Ernie, I was gonna say, I will say this tonight, congratulations to Mr. Greger, and actually congratulations to everybody else that ran. I don't really even know some individuals. Are you Mr. President?
You know I
I wasn't sure. But, congratulations to everybody. And I've already reached out to Don. We're going to talk about a few things. He needs to know a few things. He's going to be surprised about a few things. I'm guaranteed that that's the way it is when you come on here, all right? But this council's busted its butt for the last 2 years. Okay? Busted its ass. And I kind of take resentment to you thinking just because you seem to look at me like I didn't do anything. You know what, Ernie? No, I'm not asking for your opinion. I'm not asking for your
Did I say you
opinion.
didn't do anything?
Okay, but again,
I will say something now.
the thing about half council not been here since the beginning hasn't been fun. Trust me. It hasn't been fun. Anybody else?
Oh, yeah. We're up across the, I own two properties in this, 326th Street and 28 Elm Street. In the past, I had this issue with the wall on 6th Street between me and Lois. Lois lives 2 doors behind. It already fell down in Gardner's yard 2 years ago, probably, if not longer, and it's almost pushing my fence over. My brother's deck, he's on the other side of Mr. Gardner. It's all buckled up. He can't even open his shed door. And past 2 administrations couldn't do nothing about it. So it's an ongoing problem. That's how long it's been.
What's
Did our city engineer look at it? I don't, I'm being honest, I don't remember.
Mr. Charvelli came and Lou came, and they told me that the bank in Pittsburgh or in Florida owned it, and they couldn't do nothing about it.
What's the address of the wall?
Where's the wall?
I'm
It
looking
has to be
close.
489 because
Yeah,
I'm
right next.
487.
Okay.
Can you, well, we call Tony tomorrow and have him go up there and look?
I mean, they've looked at it a lot of times, but
I don't have a clue.
there's no one lives in a house that's vacant to people.
But you know what, Brett? We just called down, and I think they told us that actually it was under her uncle's name. That is not actually under the bank name.
It's under,
Something
it's owned
wrong.
by Chuck and Kathy,
Right.
but the lien holder is the bank, which
Okay.
no one's paying the bill, so the bank, it goes back to the bank. And it was checked on there out of Florida, so I don't know if we can do anything, but the wall is, it's about 6 to 8 foot high on Drew's end.
The issue with any of these properties that are owned by the bank, it's getting in touch with the
Right,
bank to
that's
do
the problem.
something.
Well, I mean, we can't let it sit there, because when it falls, when it knocks my fence down completely, I already contacted my insurance company, they're not paying for nothing.
That-
So what do I do?
So,
Is there gonna be after me to clean up my fence?
can you find out from the bank?
Yeah.
How about if you find out from the bank? And the other question is it, and I don't know the property.
It goes 3 yards down, starts at mine, Mr. Gardner's, and ends in Drew's, used to be a garage.
How high is it?
It's about 8 foot in the back, 6 to 8 foot high.
Could it, you guys know, could it be removed if it had to be?
That's what I was trying to get, just take the ball out and slope, the wall out and slope it up, you only have to put one back.
Excavator.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be, was it it could be practically done, I mean, it's not like it's a huge wall.
It's not huge.
No, it's about 6 foot high, maybe a little taller on Drew's end.
Let's have, we'll ask Tony, our engineer, to look, and Joey will look into the bank and find out if we can push the pressure on them to being responsible. I mean, I apologize, that's the first time I've heard of it. I mean, I remember you saying a long time ago,
Yeah.
when Lou was in, those guys were here, and I remember Ron talking about it at the very beginning, but we can see if we can do something for you, that's for sure. Or we can do something to alleviate the problem.
All right, I want to reiterate on what Ernie was saying, because I've been hearing all kinds of things. I couldn't make it through meetings, I was in school at the time. That line usage fee money, it seems, what I hear is, no one knows where the money's at. Is that true?
That's not true.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, that's why I want to ask.
No, please, you can ask any question. Here's some of the history. And the only reason I'm gonna give you, the only reason I can tell you some stuff, because I was there when the authority made its first presentation to the city way back in 17 or 16. This was when Lou was mayor, okay, Lucille, am I right, Lucille wasn't she?
Lucille.
I want to make sure I didn't get Rosalie and her mixed up, I'm sorry. Okay, okay, at the old building, they came in and they made a proposal. DEP said, you've got to put a wastewater tank, okay? At that time, the tank was going to be about $850,000, something like that, all right? It was being mandated because of the age of the pipes and where I think, and you guys are going to know this, forgive me, I'm going to say this may wrong, wastewater from the parks and sewage were going together, needed to separate them. Am I correct? Right. Okay. At that meeting, they sat there and they gave council a proposal, and council looked at it, and they agreed to engineer it, finance it, I mean, not free, the city would have to pay it back. Finance it, maintain it, and maintain the security on it completely for the duration of the loan, which they were looking at 20, 30 years, I think 30 years, 20, 30 years. Now, the discussion was down where the city building is for maintenance was one of the places they were thinking of putting the tank as a central place. I think, guys, am I up, is that right? That was what they originally thought of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big pile right.
All right, that was originally. Then the second proposal was up past Bart's on the left-hand side, there was where Mike's Garage, thank you, where Mike's Garage was. Because the way it flows and everything comes into there, all the major pipes come into there. But that's private property, somebody owns that. And even if they gave it to the city, the problem is there's tanks under the ground. So the city would have to pay an exorbitant amount of money to exhume those tanks legally, and you know what EPA will do for the fuel tanks. So let's ratchet ahead a little bit. They turned around, they proposed this whole thing. At the time, Lucille, Patty, and Nestor voted against it. And I can't speak to why they voted against it. All I know is it came up for a vote. And it was something about the city wasn't involved in all the engineering, I believe. And I don't, at that time I wasn't involved. I wasn't on council. I didn't know. I was like you, standing out there listening to this. They voted it down. Let's keep forwarding ahead, time and time ahead. Now we're at the point now where that exact same tank is now being considered to be at same place, that's the one location yet, where the second location is the gentleman that owns the plating. Thank you. There's a possibility being there. The tank is going from 850,000 to 2.1 million.
2.1.
That's where it's sitting. Something that we have said collectively as a council, when we all came on, that this has been kicked down the road for many, many years. Actually, 2 prior administrations have kicked it down the road. I can't say why. I can't give reasons why. I was there at meetings. I know some of it, but again, we vowed not to do that anymore. Because sooner or later, the EPA is going to say, boom, you're going to do it right now, and I don't care what it costs. So we have been working with the city engineer, who's been working with the DEP, which they have been reluctantly holding some things off, and Mr. Greger, we're bringing him up to speed on a lot of this, is that, matter of fact, one of the things is just taking the tank for its expenditures. That has nothing to do with the other mandate coming from the DEP that's coming down for the infrastructure of the pipe. Now, last year, back in August, September, or October, some of you were here, some of you weren't, there was a presentation about what to do with the pipes and the infrastructure. Our pipes are failing. The last time the pipes were videoed was in 2005. At that time, the pipes were on a 4 and a 5. A 4 meaning they could imminently collapse within 5 years. A 5 means they're ready to collapse now. That was 2006. Let's go ahead, 13 years? We had the catastrophe last year up on, where was it? McMahon. Where the 84 pipe, the pipe went, and we had to take out that whole yard to do it. We have just as large pipes. They have gone past the point of failure. We are looking at right now we're looking at an option where they line them with cement and do the insides. Last year, and for many months, I sat here and begged and screamed to people, please, this is something we want everybody involved in, the city completely. Mr. Greger's talked about that. We need everybody. Delmar knows what this happens every day. He deals with these things, in the catch basins. And I said, it's a shame. We don't get people at council meetings enough for whatever reasons. Is it going to take something like you said, the line usage fee? Okay. Do I have to make a statement that says your line usage fee is going up $50? That'll catch your attention, am I right? Probably catch your attention, it really piss you off, to be honest with you. Do I have to make such a gargantuous statement to get so many people and say, we got to move the meeting to the senior high auditorium to get people in here to understand what's going on? Council wants to present everybody and know what the options are. And here are the options again. One, the past administration looked into 1 or 2 options. At that time, the DEP or no, it wasn't FDA. Help me out. I'm sorry. What EPA? No, it's the USDA. It was a weird one. It wasn't quite the same what you thought. USDA was available to get a loan. The city at that time was looking at a $40 million loan just for infrastructure. Okay? We collectively got together and said, it was our opinion, council's opinion, to say, look, I don't want to make that decision alone. I believe it's your decisions, not my decision. I'm only one name. Okay, this is going to affect this whole city. And I wanted the other options of saying, look, $40 million to do most of the pipes, the catastrophic ones that are bad. And let's also have a price, and I know this is a fairyland price, but everybody in full disclosure should be able to do this and understand this, is that's lining them. What does it cost, and we know our streets, we all know the streets. What does it cost to dig up the street, put a brand new pipe in, redo it, resurface it, and go? In other words, options. There's the, unless we hit billions of dollars, and there's this option. But I believe everybody, all the citizens, deserve to know what that is. And then it's not council's decision to make, even though it is. It's your decision and your voice to say, no, you know what, we all agreed that we think this is the better option. Who are we to tell you no? We represent you. So the two planes, that's where it's at right now, okay? There's the $70, $80 million that this city couldn't afford unless it had a good fairy godmother. And the other one that's coming down the road is $40, $50 million that we're not going to have a choice on. The
You're not addressing the problem. The problem is that Mon Valley Sewage Authority said $5 every month goes for the retaining tank, period. You're giving us all kind of running around, this expense, that expense. Now, where's that money? You should have over $500,000 right now, over 2 years. Do you have $500,000 in your,
So then
no, you don't have it. So where did the money go?
Okay, wait.
You robbed Peter to pay Paul. That's what you guys did. That is malfeasance. Malfeasance, and we're all gonna pay the price when the DEP says you have to put that in. You know what Mon Valley's gonna do? They said it at that meeting. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna borrow the money, then hit us individually on our, what do you call it, on our
Ernie.
sewage bill.
Ernie,
So that's what you guys are all looking at, because this guy here is running around like this on a merry-go-round.
Ernie,
That's not true.
Ernie, first of all,
Look up on the February YouTube, Mon Valley. What I said,
hey, Dawn,
close.
you want to come up? Ernie, welcome to the club. First of all, let's do the math. Or do you know how to do math? Because I don't think you do. Because let's start just from this year and last year and do the $5.
Where's the $5 for 2 years?
Was it is it millions of dollars?
Huh?
Where'd you go to school
There's
at?
36, they told us.
Where did you go to school at?
3,600 residents are paying $5 a month. That's times 60 a year.
Ernie,
It's
that money-
420,000 minimum.
there's
So
90
where's that
some,
money at?
there's 90 some thousand, is it 93?
Yeah, so where did the
95?
money go?
Yeah, the Pliget is about $95,000.
Yeah, but there should have been 420,000, at least.
You can't go by resident.
That's what they go.
Not everybody
Okay,
pays
look
their
on
sewage
YouTube.
bills.
I don't have to talk about it. Look on YouTube and you'll see what the murder is.
Ernie, I'm done.
That's enough.
First off,
Mr. Presti has the chair floor anyways, okay? Do not shout again or leave.
No, she was saying other statements that ain't true.
Ernie,
I'm sorry.
The sewage authority, they allot us money every year to maintain the sewage.
No, you
They don't
pay,
give us nothing.
you
I mean,
pay
in
for it
our sewage, but this goes to the sewage company, they give it back to us.
every month.
Oh, it's
You get a
monthly.
check. It's by how much they collect, which means
Okay.
it fluctuates.
All right.
Because 7,000 people in the city do not pay sewage. Okay, people have to understand that.
All right.
That 7,000 could be five, you and your wife or something else. You, your wife, and your kids don't all pay individual sewage.
Right.
So that's not.
and not everybody pays their bills.
Yes,
In this town.
trust me. And a lot of that money is used, and Heppel brought it up a couple months to us, and we've been doing it, and it was a great idea that we've been trying to use some of the line usage fee for work that they do when they have to do an inlet. And those are about, about 5 to 10 grand each?
Well, the latest bid you put out was 6,500 feet. So
But that was a bunch of them.
24.
Okay, so we use that money to do that. So yes, it comes down a little bit because we have to pay that because,
That's where everybody's, so you use that money, is it legal to use that money to do that?
no, that's what it's specifically used for.
Now, you still got the $7. What do you
You're
do
allowed,
with the
you're
$7?
allowed to use line usage
Yeah,
fee.
you got 7 and 5.
Ernie.
And here.
You come here every week and bring up the same stuff, you don't listen.
Because you
That's
guys
your
don't
problem.
address malfeasance.
Ernie, but when we try and give you the answer, you don't let us talk. So that's the problem.
What answer was
Enough.
that he gave us?
Enough.
You're going round
I'm
and
trying to
round.
tell you. Forget it.
Let Mr. Lepresti have the floor. Nobody interrupted you.
Yeah, I didn't mean to,
Stop it.
I'm not talking against you.
Stop it. Mr. LaPresky, please.
So,
Or
line
we can't
usage fee goes to stormwater, system.
I'm more confused now than I was before.
That's all it's used for.
And that's all we use it for?
Did we use it for the sinkhole too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a
Because it's-
sewer.
That was a
Sewage,
sewage
that's
line.
sewage.
But that was, how many?
That was
Yeah.
$84,000. Or $48,000.
Did you have other funds you could have used for that? Or
And God forbid,
It's not that
if we have
you're
another major
pulling-
collapse.
They
You get what I'm
could've-
saying?
They could have used the general fund, but
there is
Then
no
we wouldn't
money
have made
there.
it.
No money.
So you don't have a choice. You cannot be letting it sit there.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I had other questions, but
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna hold off.
Okay.
Thanks.
You can shoot us an email too if you ever have any questions.
Yeah, we'll be happy to show you anything you need.
Joe Giovanni, 1556 Marion Avenue. My question is, you said about lining the sewer lines, and your reason for not wanting to jump into that was they only guaranteed for 1 year.
That's correct.
Do we know of any community that's done it? Have we investigated into that and see how long theirs
Yes.
will last?
Yes, we have. Plus, to piggyback on top of that, our engineer, Tony Vitale, WC, has asked for them, the company that does it, to come back in here within the next month or two and make a presentation again, stating and showing what they do. Okay? They've been approved by a lot of states. Now, I'm not for this, against it. I'm just trying to collect information right now for everybody. The PennDOT has used them, I've been told, but the state of Pennsylvania has not approved them, like Florida, I believe, is one of the states that has done that. At least that's the credentials she showed us. And I've stated this before many times. My issue personally, and it's just my personal issue with it, is it sounds great, possibly, and the cost is a lot less, but I have a problem of spending $30 or $40 million for something that has a one-year warranty. I have a real hard problem with that. That doesn't make sense to me, because here's the problem. If they go in there and they do these pipes, and if they, for some reason, don't do them correctly or mess something up and all that, and we have another failure after a year, what are they gonna tell us? Oops, we're gonna have to redo something else. I personally do not feel comfortable with one year.
Plastic pipe inside a regular pipe?
No, what it is, it's a cement.
It's coating.
It's a coating, it's a cement coating that goes around the pipe inside.
But that's what they do in all industry today. I mean, if you need a pipe export, I think you should go right across the river and ask Lisa Plum.
our pipes aren't normal pipes, they're 7-foot tunnels.
I understand, but I work with it, you know, we did it for years. So it's all depending what kind of presentation you have. But if it's a cement pipe, that's what you're saying.
It sprays cement on a machine.
Yeah, because something that they're doing all over the country, just because to get away from replacing that you already exist. Because there's a lot of less digging and taking stuff out. It's repair, which we have along, you know, with long.
Well, trust me.
Put a Band-Aid on it.
Trust me, if people know,
A one-year ban.
or you guys, or anybody knows of other solutions, they've seen other things, we've asked everybody, we're open to that. We're open to bring 10 different ideas in here. We're not set on anything. Because quite frankly, we don't have enough information even on one thing, let alone 8 or 10 of them. We don't have a clue.
You do have a pipe expert right across the road. So I mean, if you need it, you want.
Well, the question's going to be-
Or need a major contract will deal with that.
And here's my question, and I don't know the answer to this, but, and I'm sorry, I'm calling it two different things. Is it required to be approved by DEP? That might be the key. And I don't know that for a fact, but if the federal government gets involved in it and they say, this is the only things you could use, boom, 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 that's all we're gonna be able to use. And I don't have that answer. And I don't even know if that question will be brought up. But I'm sure in discussions like this, from everybody, from our street guys that know the pipes and all that, we are gonna ask those questions. But, this is a but, the time is ticking, the clock is ticking, unfortunately.
I mean, it's not that, you know, council says, oh yeah, we're gonna go fix the pipes. The DEP's been telling us for 10 years now, you gotta go and fix these lines.
We have too much earth around here. That's just an
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is, but I hope everybody collectively together can come up with a solution, and hopefully it's something we can do.
Tony, it's been like 3 years since the sewage authority took over the line out front here and lined it with that pink plastic product that was causing problems with chemical smells in people's homes and stuff. Has anyone went back to revisit those to see what they look like after 3 years?
I don't believe so.
No, but that's a good idea.
But I mean, that's something we could ask, is it Charleroi that has the camera?
Yeah, more than
Yeah, well, we could ask them to put the camera in.
I believe they took over the old, took over the old sewage line and made it the storm line, and it was pink. They used a pink product, it was a chemical plastic compound. And it's been about 3 years now. Maybe it's worth a look with the camera and see how they're holding up.
Of
after
course.
3 years. You know,
And the other question is, and I don't even know, you just brought this up, Delmar, I don't even know in the big scheme of all this, where the sewage authority even plays in this. I mean, I really don't have a clue.
now they relined the one line to the bars, and I think they consider it theirs now. I don't know how that works.
The big archways, the big brick archways?
It's the one out here, it used to be the sanitary line. They made it the sewage line, for the new sanitary line.
That's all they do. They do it for the whole city.
We'll talk to our city engineer and see if he,
And it's,
I'm sure
I
Tony
mean,
knows.
That's the people you need to get into.
The lines were done over in Charleroi at the old Montgomery Wards for the noodle factory. When they did it, they had a problem because when it comes to a T, they clogged it up. So you have it at every T.
Did they line it?
They lined
Yeah.
it, that's what they did, and they had to dig it up.
Well, here's the other question that they
It's all
haven't answered,
packaged.
that I want an answer for when they come is, and maybe this is just too simplistic and I'm making something that doesn't make sense. You're going through, you're doing your pipe. Everybody has inlets that go into that pipe, am I correct? When you come to the point where your inlet is coming from your house, and this is going around doing that, what's it doing to that inlet? I haven't got that answer yet, but that's an question I'd like to make when they come here for the presentation. Because I really don't know. Does it cover it up partially and your oops?
Could you ask the question too?
Well, would that be a question I'd like to ask to that company that presents their presentation again, that does this, the pipe
There's
relay?
more
always
to
my
the
question
company
with
than the
plastic.
You need to
He's
get
not
more
passing
one.
tap, it has to.
Just, you need to
Partially
get
block
more
it, how do they-
people. That's their business and
Well,
help them.
that's the thing, sir, any city business, we have to bid out anyway, so there will be multiple people bidding.
Right, and the DEP is we have to get people that are authorized to be used by the DEP.
Well, I'm sure that both people that I told, I have no contact with, other than I did use both of them all the time. One cement, one plastic.
I'm sorry.
They're doing the same.
Joseph P. Gigliotti, 1556 Marion Avenue. Addressing him, I work for Lee Supply. I personally believe replacing the lines would be the best bet because you're looking at, they said what, best case it lasts 90 years cement-wise?
Correct.
Okay? Why are we gonna do something that's still a temporary fix when possibly just replacing them? And I know it's an extra 20 million,
No, it's extra 40.
extra 40, you said it was 45, I thought you said it was 45.50 for the cement and 70 to replace.
It was about 80 million to replace and do the streets and do them all. Now, we have beautiful streets, guys, but I don't think the infrastructure in this city can afford to have that type of payment.
I understand that, but I was gonna get to that too. But I would think that that would be a more, if, what's gonna be best for the city in the future, because I do believe at some point this town's gonna make a turnaround, and we're gonna get businesses back in here.
We're trying.
And I know you guys, I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking that why not try and do it, and then as the businesses come in, and we get revenue from them, and we continue, if our city grows in population, we get more revenue coming in. Having the new lines already would last probably longer
Oh, yeah.
than it would to do, I know it's 90 years, but it's still a temporary fix.
Oh, that idea that we're going to look at and present to everybody, and let everybody's input, is great, because if you can afford to do it, now you solve inlet problems, you solve roads, Forget about the potholes and redoing your front end every time you go down the street. Oh, it does a ton of things. The question is, to the citizens, do you want and can you afford that?
Okay. I understand that's gonna be a lot of backlash from that.
And that's the purpose of the public forums for
Yes.
this.
I understand that. Another question is, have you guys looked into state and federal funding to possibly, I know downtown they've been replacing the water lines. And been doing the road. Did you guys possibly look into any funding from the state if you would have wrote up a proposal to say, we're having construction already done to replace aging water lines that the authority of Borough of Charleroi is doing? Is there any money available that we can get and try to match to go a little bit deeper, replace the sewer lines as they do the water lines? Because I've worked for the water company as summer help a few years back, and sewer lines are pretty much right underneath where the water lines are.
ABC, which is water, am I correct? Trust me, they're only doing this because PennDOT's doing this project, or they wouldn't be doing it. They would care less. Matter of fact, I know our solicitor and our city engineer go nuts fighting them all the time about they don't want to pay a permit, or this or that, or, you know, do we have to do this and rip this up? And Delmar will tell you on the streets that, hey, they're ripping this up, are they going to pay from curb to curb? And it's a nightmare. They're not going to want to do anything, unfortunately, that they don't have to do, because they have to answer to people too. They're tax base, all right. The state, forget it. We can't get them to turn around and give us $100,000 to knock down a building that's ready to fall on somebody, let alone an infrastructure. That's why they went to the federal government.
And part of that USDA funding package will include grant money. How much? That's still up.
It's a loan and a grant.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, I thank you, and I thank all of you, because this is the type of public input we've been begging and asking for. Trust me. And this isn't our decision to make. This is your decision as citizens to make, because this burden, whichever way it goes, is not going to be pretty.
I mean, I disagree with you, Chief. Last thing, we voted for people to get in, but we voted for you to decide for the city. Now, if we're not competent to do the job, then we have the right to vote you out. But at that point, it's not up to us. It's good to have an open meeting and discuss, but I mean, the bottom line becomes to the city council, the legal staff.
But we want public opinion. We want total disclosure. I guess maybe I should
Kiss
say,
anybody's ass to do the right thing.
we're just asking for, we just want people's opinions. We want the public to know, because in the past, the public was never asked.
Fixed income people are gonna tell you no. And they can't afford it. They can't afford another dollar raise in their taxes.
Right, and it was
Like, there's not going to be a choice. But one day the DEP is gonna knock on City Hall's door and say, hey, you
Time's
guys
up.
have to do this.
There might be more vacant houses in this town.
Thank you. Anybody else?
One question, Tony.
Sure.
Just a typo on this, I think it is anyway. Motion to approve payment to Morgan Press, 580 McMahon Avenue for $411. There's no 500 block in McMahon, is there? They only run 6 to 14.
Which one is that, Delmar?
It's under, Matt Sherraw, about the 8-1 maybe, 7. Third one from the top, motion to approve payment Morgan Excavating LP, invoice 1179.
It has to be between 6 and 9.
Yeah, but there is no
Right, there's no 5
500
because
block.
it's 6th Street
It
and
only
9th
runs
Street.
6.
I wonder if it's just
Okay,
6
the
8.
the address is wrong?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
because there's 6th Street and 9th Street on the end of the
Okay,
end.
it's where the,
There's no 5th, like
where
you
the
said.
church
Yeah, it's next to Union Baptist.
Okay,
Oh,
that's not
okay.
the
Yeah,
proper address?
It's in that block.
Okay, I'll find
So
the
it's
proper
6
address.
Yeah, it's in the, right, it's next to you, yeah,
6
Union
8.
Baptist.
Okay, so what's the address? It's not McMahon?
It's McMahon, it's just not that 500.
600 something?
Yes.
Oh, 600 something, okay.
I don't know if this is a
I'll
water
ask.
authority doing something.
I'll ask.
I do have my.
Thanks, Delmar, for catching.
Sure, go ahead.
When we have the demolition of the houses, how do you pick which houses are getting ripped down?
Solicitor?
Which demos are you?
Whenever you go to demo, how do the houses get on it?
The CDBG properties.
Whatever you're-
Well, it started with CDBG projects and then with repository properties. Those were the properties that the city owned. Honestly, it goes by which ones are economically viable, given how much money the city receives from the CDBG state program. That's,
Who decides that? You guys?
the engineer takes a look at it and council votes to approve.
Because I think the most dangerous ones should be ripped down no matter what. And you have that building next to Old Bar 20 that's been burnt for years.
That's coming down,
That's
that's
on-
on the next, that's on the list.
That should have been down.
Yeah, it's on the
Okay.
current list.
It's on.
Yeah, but it's on the current list.
What about
Yeah, we
Dawkins
approved
House
that
on
already.
Reed?
That's,
Dawkins on
that's
House on
approved
Reed.
too.
That's coming
Is it
down?
408 Reed?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
approved.
we
It's
voted
all-
on that a couple months ago.
Yeah, we did.
How
That's
about
it,
on
too.
10th Street by the Elks?
517?
I don't know the address,
I think
I just
that's
know
on-
they're
I
burned.
think that's on it
That's on
too.
there.
That's on it
They're
too.
coming down this time? There's two of them there, one across from the alley from each other?
Yes,
No, there's,
that's them.
We can pull the,
That's them.
we can
Yeah,
pull the list
one-
and give it to you.
Yeah.
that's
All
them.
right, that's good. I just-
Yeah, they're on the
They're
list.
dangerous, they should come down.
They're on
Yeah,
the list.
and that's what we tackled the
I mean, that's,
279.
I know they ripped zucchinis down, there was nothing wrong with it. I don't understand
Yeah,
why
they're on,
they did that.
those are on the front list.
Zucchinis on 4th
it
Street.
may have been owned by the city, and whenever the city owns the properties, they can tear down their own properties. These are still in private hands. Now, these people might not be alive, they might live by the state. So there's a process the city has to go through, either the second meeting in June or the first meeting in July, there'll be a demolition hearing. You have to give somebody notice and opportunity to be heard before you take their property away.
Hey, Joe, real quick, on demolition side of it, for firefighting side of it, I know how it used to be in the past, if you get a demo house, once you turn it over to the contractor, does it now become his responsibility? There's a reason why I'm asking.
To remove the,
Like, once you award somebody the bid, is it now his responsibility that the property, is it, you know?
No, no.
What we used to do in the past is that if I find a house is structurally sound, but it's coming down.
Right.
We can use it for training as long as the demo guy is, because we need a building to cut holes in right now. So we're trying to do some roof
Okay.
training. We want to cut holes in it. In the past, I used to we either signed a paper with the demo guy saying that, you know, we're not going to sue you if, you know what I'm saying?
that's something
We
we
could do
could
that, and then
coordinate
I
with.
got you guys
Because I
set
know
up for live
both
burn
companies are
training in
working well
September.
together right now, and I would like to have them both,
Yeah,
you know, to train in that.
we could do that, and then, we got
That's something you can look into.
we got the live burn training approved for you guys for September.
Are there any of those 4 buildings that would be most suitable?
That's what if you can make me a list, I'd like to look at.
It's 908 Knox, it's 408.
You don't even write it down, I can't even remember.
517. Pencils aren't that sharp.
What is it?
It's 908 Knox, 408 Reed, 517 10th.
I don't remember.
I just dealt with it today, and 1000 Alaska Alley. Also included in that are the 6th Street properties.
The what?
The 6th Street properties.
The Garrett properties.
That'd probably be good enough to do just ladder work on the roofs, you know, I wouldn't go into it.
That's no longer Garrett's fault.
Oh yeah, that's taken care of too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, there were
Everybody knows I'm buying Garrett property.
Yeah, I know.
Last 4 houses on 6th Street.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Anyway,
that- that's what we're talking about.
Delmar, I'll
On
give
the
this
other
to you.
side?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of, I think, the,
Redevelopment Authority owns that.
yeah,
Is that all cleared up though from the litigation?
It is, that just,
All the,
that was cleared up, last week.
I think so. They said by the end
any other public comment? There will be an executive session afterwards.
after I get this.
Got a motion to adjourn? Motion. Second?
Second.